Okay, in our last session we were looking at set client context rule, getting the web gateway block templates displayed on the clients. Since our last video, I have domain joined this Windows 10 PC, and so the certificate I imported into the user certificates is actually not valid anymore because I'm logged in as a different user. So this should mean if I try to go to this website, we should still get this invalid authority error message. So one thing that would have changed is that under my certificate, if I look under here, I should find my organization's root certificate, which is here. It's just Home Lab on Windows Server 1 because I didn't rename it to anything else. Okay, let's go ahead, and what we're going to be looking at today is this KB article, which is how to create and import a Microsoft Subordinate Certificate Authority, Sub CA, for McAfee Webgateway. The article's not too old. Nothing's really changed here in the process whatsoever. We're essentially just going to follow this near enough step by step. I'm not going to come back to this article until I need the commands that are at the end. So first of all, I'm going to get logged into my AD server, which is just here, got some updates apparently. And this server is all set up to allow me to request for certificates. So if I come down here to sites, search server, need to browse on HTTPS because of the Sub CA certificate we're requesting. And once we get into here, we can request for a certificate, advanced certificate request, submit a request to this CA. Yes. Okay, so certificate template is the subordinate certificate. We're going to give it a name of Web Gateway, Web Gateway Proxy, yeah, no need for a name, McAfee Web Gateway at McAfee.com. I'm just going to make some stuff up here. Company is company, department is department, city is city, state, and I'm just going to say UK. So this would normally be filled out correctly. This is a lab, so it doesn't matter. And there is one important thing here. Subordinate certificate. See, you've got to make sure that you select the right one. And mark keys as exportable. You see that was grayed out when I tried to select a web server certificate because it's a different type of certificate. But when you got the right one, you'll get this option here. And that's all we need from here. So yes, and then at the end we install this certificate. So it's successfully installed. Okay, so we're going to close that. I'm going to open the control panel and we're going to go to Internet Options. In Internet Options, we're going to have a look at Content and Certificates. And here we see the certificate that we just created. We're going to export this certificate. We're going to make sure we export the key as well, very important. These would be left as default. I think the article explains which ones to click, but it is actually the default settings. And next, we have to export with a password. Obviously, it's going to be more secure than the password I just used. Next, we need to export it somewhere. We'll try to put it on the desktop. We'll call it Web Gateway. Just pop it there on the desktop. Next, finish. So once we've got the certificate, we can close all of these windows because we don't need the Windows Server anymore, and we will actually take this file back to our client that we're testing with. So now we've got the file, we've got a certificate and key bundle. I don't know the technical term for it, but I'll just call it a bundle. And we need to be able to split these out so we get a usable file that we can actually import into the web gateway. So I'm going to SSH into my web gateway. And we need a terminal and a file. Okay, so you can disappear. So as I'm in my home directory, I'm just going to dump in my home directory. And now is where we're actually going to go back to the KB article, and we're just going to copy the commands that we need in order to split these up. Okay, so it's just a case of copying and pasting. I don't know if this is case sensitive. Yeah, it's case sensitive. So they expected the file to be called Web Gateway here. Let's get rid of that. It's just easier if you just keep the name the same, because then you can just copy these commands exactly as they are. So that was the first command. That password, we have to enter. Second command, password. Okay, so that's great. Now we should have those two files. Oh, sorry, we get the PEM file and the cert file, but we don't actually want to be using those. That's not what we're going to use. We have to continue to step 4. Copy out this one. Copy out this one. And now we will see the actual files we need. These two here. Okay, so if there's also a chain, then you can do the chain command as well. I don't need to do that. It is optional. In most circumstances, you don't need to do it. And then that's it. The rest of the article explains how to import this into the web gateway, but we're just going to do that now. So I'm going to drag these two files, pop them on my desktop. Don't need that anymore. And now we can replace this certificate, this McAfee Webgateway one. We can import the certificate and import the key. I didn't set any passwords, so I'm just going to click import on that. And we can see here this is the Web Gateway proxy with the dummy data that I selected. And we can see the issuer was my Windows server there. Okay, so now we can save that. And let's have a look to see if we get that block page. HTTPS, and yes, block page. Let's have a look at the certificate and the certificate path. And we can see here, so this certificate we imported into the web gateway, but the trust goes all the way up to the root certificate that we installed. That was already on my client after I joined AD. AD pushes it to all of my clients, so I don't need to worry about that. And then the trust is there for the certificate. So block pages are enabled. So that's the two ways now that you can set client context instead of using HTTPS scanner for full content inspection. You can still just display block pages just by using this one rule.